Deadpool's an interesting guy. He's a top secret weapon from Canada, built to be, well, psychopathic, and he has the ability to heal up anything. But what do you do when you fight against an enemy that he can't take out? Typically, he allows himself to get beat down until they tire themselves out, and then he gets up and wins. But what if somebody kills him constantly? He's got no way to fight against it. Welcome to the complete story series, where I take trade paperbacks in single issues, and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panel's text and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. And if you're curious about where you can find this storyline, it is an original graphic novel written by Rob Liefeld, the actual creator of Deadpool. This is a new storyline for his own character.
Wade Wilson was never known to run from a fight, except for one person. Domino asks what exactly is he talking about now and what is he running from? And Wade tells her that it's not exactly what he's running from, but who. And that who happens to be a giant man named Thumper. No matter what he did, fought back, shoot him in the face, and the man was just unkillable. But to go with the unkillable thing, he was also very strong, like super strong. Thumper tends to show up randomly, and when he does, he always tries to kill him. Except that this last time, just before he was going to kill him, he shouted to just hurry up because it was Taco Tuesday! Which, strangely enough, caused Thumper to just throw him away and leave. Domino says that there is no way that happened, and Wade tells her, swear to God, it doesn't make any sense, right? So while Thumper was leaving, he had a great idea to shoot Thumper's grenades that he was carrying on his belt. And that should have stopped him, but no, it didn't. This guy is basically like John Cena meets the Terminator. He always comes back. And after that last beating, there's one thing that he can say, and that is heaven is awesome! Meanwhile, over at Hell's Kitchen in the current timeline, Domino tells Wade that for a dead man, he sure talks a lot. Wade tells her, yeah, by the time his healing factor connected all of the bloody little dots, Thumper was already gone, so did you find anything? Domino says that it's kind of hard to say since she has no idea what she's looking for. She's gonna go out on a limb and state that the intel about moving weapons through the kitchen may have been bad. Wade jumps back up, telling her, there's no way. You must have missed something. That lead was solid. And Domino asks, what makes you so sure? Who is this infallible informant? Wade pauses for a moment, then he says, Tolliver. And within a second, Domino pulls out her gun, pointing it at Wade, stating that she knew it. Cable warned her that this would happen. Tolliver's dead. So unless you know something that I don't. Wade tells her to calm down. Back then, yeah, I was different working for Tolliver. But after I died, that loyalty went out the window. I sold everything that I could on Tolliver's compound except for one file. The file talked about a super weapon that could be devastating in the wrong hands, though there's not much more beyond that. Places, dates, times, the only problem is that whenever I follow up on them, Thumper appears and basically kills me each time. Domino thinks about it and then asks, how long has this been going on? And Wade says, for a while now, once or twice a year since Norway. That was the first time that I went after the super weapon. And Domino then asks, the Lofton Islands? And Wade nods. She shouts, damn, I was there when I was with X-Force. Back then we were supposed to infiltrate the Mutant Liberation Front to destroy some weapons. But when we snuck in, that's when we found you. In fact, that was when you were going after Cable because he was a living weapon and attacked us. Except there was no sign of Thumper then, at least from what we saw. Domino stops and goes over the current situation. So while looking in Norway for some kind of super weapon, Thumper was showing up. You're an idiot, Wade. And she asks if he figured out that Thumper is the weapon. Wade pauses and says, actually, that makes a lot of sense now. Domino jumps off the building that they're standing on, saying that she'll run this by her shield contact since a killing machine is on the loose. And Wade shouts, asking, are you even gonna give me a ride home? Cause suddenly there's two spotlights shining down on me. Wade then hears the sounds of a helicopter and says that he's really hoping that's the Domino copter, but he's gonna guess it's not. A voice from one of the helicopters shouts for Wade to drop his weapons and put his hands up. And he puts his hands up as the soldiers surround him and he says, okay, this is gonna be one of those nights, huh? A little while later over Toronto, Canada, Wade tells the soldiers that they are unbelievable. They couldn't even take 5 minutes to stop at a drive-thru. It was half-price chimichangas! As Wade is led into another room, Wade sees the one in charge of all of this, and he says, look, in the last 3 hours, I've been blown up, beaten to death, yelled at, and then denied my favorite meal. So you have about 5 seconds to explain what's going on before I start to feed you people your own teeth. The man says that he can't say that he missed him much, but Department H has been a hell of a lot quieter with him gone. Wade says, wait, is that Kane? As in Garrison Kane? Kane tells him that he's heard that he had a rough night, and Wade says, you wouldn't believe. Some asshat sent a bunch of guys with guns and a helicopter to drag me to Canada so he can show off his vest. And Kane goes on telling him, we couldn't waste any time. We need to talk about Agent Daedalus. Wade thinks about it and says, wait, You're talking about Thumper. He's one of yours? And Kane tells him not ours, but he belongs to Canada. And Daedalus has been off the grid. But now he shows up to attack. Wade asks him what's the point, and Kane says, "You can end this. We can end this." As he rambles on, Wade starts to put everything together. Project Daedalus was Canada's answer to the Winter Soldier, but like him, Wolverine, and Captain America, he went rogue since none of them are really good at taking orders. Thumper was supposed to be a programmable assassin, except something went wrong, and whenever Thumper went out on a mission, he always went straight for Wade. Now Kane is Thumper's new handler. And right now he's in hot water with Department H because Thumper went rogue. Again, so why not help? A short while later, Kane teleports himself and Wade to the Project Daedalus lab in Saskatchewan. And Wade says, "Why are we here? Thumper was in Manhattan, turning my face into a hamburger last time we saw him." And just as he finishes, a blue light shines, outlining Thumper, and Wade says, "Ah, I spoke too soon!" As Thumper appears, Kane tells him that he needs to take him down. And as Thumper looks at him, he says, "Wade, help." Wade says, "Hang on, did he just say Wade?" And Kane tells him to focus and stick to the plan. Take down Thumper. As Kane runs in to fight, Wade looks around the lab at some of the scattered files and he sees Subject Ellison M. On the file it says that the subject has shown an incredible willingness to participate in Department H's experiments. After putting that file into his pocket, Wade jumps into the fight, and like always, Thumper overpowers Wade. He throws him out the building that they're in, and as Wade lands, he shouts that even after an 11-story drop, I'm still alive! Thumper then lands on him, and Wade goes on shouting, "This time's a little different though. The game has changed, and now I'm hunting you. So what do you think about that?" And Thumper says, "Rad as hell." Wade asks, "What did he say?" But before he can answer, Kane jumps down, attacking Thumper, telling Wade not to let him get away. He starts to cut the tubes on Thumper's mask, and as he beats down on him, he breaks away at the mask. Wade then looks at Thumper and says that he knows this is one of those moments where he has a plan, but his brain's telling him not to do it, so he'll do it anyway. Besides, Kane lied about Thumper being mindless in his talk, so it's going to make this a hell of a lot easier. Wade jumps over to Thumper, shooting Kane in the face, and he grabs Thumper and teleports the two of them out of there. The two fall onto a beach in Ottawa, and Wade then asks, why did Thumper bring them here? However, the jump caused the skin on Wade's legs to be ripped off, so he figures that he may as well read up on the file that he grabbed. He flips through the folder until he gets to the subject's pictures, and he sees that the man is Miles Ellison. Miles was a friend that Wade went to school with a long time ago. He was a little weirdo, but he was also his best friend. Well, him understanding Taco Tuesday now makes sense. Wade tries to wake Miles up, but without saying anything, Miles then responds by punching Wade in the head. Miles gets up swinging, and as he grabs onto Wade, the teleporter goes off again. Wade hangs on as Miles runs through the halls of their old school, and Wade shouts, "Hang on a second!" He then pulls off his own mask, telling him, "Look, it's me, Wade!" And Miles begins to choke Wade, telling him, "Can't stop." But just before Miles can squeeze any further, a blue light shines, and Kane steps out, telling his men to hit Thumper with the override. A burst of electricity hits Miles, bringing him down, and Wade shouts, "You killed him!" And Kane tells him no. And then he tells the others to hurry up and put on the new helmet. He'll handle Wade personally. Wade shoots the two men with Kane, telling them, "Yeah, no." As Wade and Kane argue, there's a second blue light, and Domino appears, shooting Miles, saying that she's come to put an end to this. Wade tells her that that's cool, but could she, not shoot him? Domino then opens fire on Miles, and Wade jumps in the way, taking the hits, telling her, "You need to listen! Things have changed!" And as they begin to fight, Domino knocks Wade down, asking if he forgot about the part where that guy's a mindless killing machine. Wade looks up saying, "Yeah, Thumper is my friend." Domino stops to listen, but 3 shots are fired, hitting Domino in the back. Kane stands there holding a gun saying, "You're his friend, huh? How's that working out?" Another shot is fired, and Wade cuts the bullet in half, telling him to just shut up. As the two charge at each other, Kane tells Wade that he knows that Miles came to them, alright, wanting to be just like his best friend Wade so that they could reconnect. Well, we did him one better. We told him what Wade Wilson became, and then we literally showed him Deadpool's greatest hits. So we all thought that Miles would be terrified, but can you guess what he said? Make him just like Wade. Wade swings his katana, and as Kane chops off the upper half of his body, Wade says, "That is super gross, you know." Kane then rockets behind him, slamming into Wade, saying, "Look at all of the badasses the program made them into for the people who didn't want to be a part of it. And now we have someone who was willing? Except whenever we gave him missions, he always went to try and impress you. But you just wouldn't die. That's why we had to make Wade Wilson the first official target, so that we could avoid this situation. And that's why he begged to be on this mission, so that he could fight you and kill you over and over again. So we found a way to make it stick. Your old friend became the killing machine that Wade Wilson inspired him to be." Kane then asks Wade, How about we actually get started now? We have a long night ahead of us. Wade looks at him and says, you must really be dumb. What's gonna happen when they send Thumper after you? Kane stops and tells him, they would never. I've never turned my back on my country. I've never told them no. And just then an arm reaches out and Miles grabs Kane. Kane shouts for him to get his hands off of him, and Miles pulls and rips him apart. Wade then thinks about it and tries to come up with a joke, but shockingly has nothing for once in his life. And he says thankfully he's not out of bullets at least. He jumps in firing at Miles' back, saying that at the end of the day, this isn't a Domino problem or a S.H.I.E.L.D. problem, it's a Deadpool problem. Bullets continue to hit Miles, and Wade says that he's just got to get that helmet off. And even after being shot many times, Miles walks through the bullets, punching Wade and slamming him into the ground. Wade kicks Miles back, getting up, telling him to wait a second, I got something to say! Don't be a moron and be like me. But if you have to be like me, at least try to be better at it. And take off that stupid helmet. Miles stops and he starts to pull the helmet off. And Miles says, not Daedalus, not Deadpool, Thumper. Wade asks, what the hell was that supposed to mean? Kane's half dead, Domino's still down, and Alma fished out of bullets. Miles throws out his arms, and then he hugs Wade, telling him, gonna be better. Wade tells him, great, we can fix this. Until then, though, I got a great mask guy for you. Miles tells him, Wade can't fix, but I can. Miles then pulls out a detonator, and Wade tells him, oh shit! As the explosion goes off, Wade grabs Domino and runs. But he already knows these types of explosions. These are the ones where there's nothing but scorched earth afterwards, incinerating everything. Kane's probably a goner, but Thumper. As Wade gets up to a nearby hill, Domino looks out at the fire and says that the body armor caught most of the rounds, so she'll live. More than she can say for his friend, though. Wade tells her that he made it out. But Thumper is no longer the responsibility of Department H. Whatever he is Wade Wilson's responsibility.
Welcome to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Thumper's an interesting guy, and I'm really curious if we're going to see him again. Now, I wanted to touch on a comment that a lot of you made last time. You all told me to get a damn haircut, you damn hippie. Well, this is not how it's supposed to be. This is me getting lazy. It's supposed to be pulled back like this, and it looks all nice and neat. Don't you agree? If you want to chat about my hair, because you all seem to want to talk about my goddamn hair, follow me on Twitter, @Comicstorian. Or you can check out a video right here, or you can check out the entire Deadpool playlist right over here. Once again, my fingers probably don't line up at all. Awkwardly sitting here. Why are you still in the video? You're just gonna sit here and let me just bob on out, aren't you? Please end the video. I don't want to be stuck in YouTube hell!